let's go through some thriller books that I think are better on audio. First up, we have Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera, and this one, honestly, if you're gonna read this, you almost have to do the audiobook. This book is like a podcast thriller, and so the podcast element is done so well in the audio, and I just think you will miss out if you read it physically. This book is about a woman who has no memory of this fateful night that kind of determined her entire future. She was found with the blood of her best friend on her, and her friend was found unalived, and so everybody assumes she did it. She assumes she did it, but she doesn't remember what happened. Now, it's been a little while since this incident, and she's trying to put this past behind her, but a true crime podcaster comes into town to try to dig up this old case and figure out what actually took place. Again, the podcast element is what really made this audiobook. It's definitely one of my favorite thriller audiobooks. Highly recommend. Next up, we have literally any of Ruth Ware's audiobooks. Her narrator is just so good. Her narrator's name is Imogen Church, and you can listen to snippets of this all over Ruth Ware's and Imogen's Instagram account. I've read all of Ruth Ware's books. I've read some physically, some on audio, and the audiobooks, I just always really enjoy the narration. Now, this is my favorite thriller author, so you honestly can't go wrong with any of her books, but my favorite and my recommendation for where to start, if you haven't read any, is The Woman in Cabin 10. Another one that has a podcast element that I loved in audio is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. It follows two women who are birthday twins. They discover that they share the same birthday. It's their 40th birthday, and they just meet by chance at a bar. One of them is a successful podcaster, and the other one wants to be featured on her show, and she decides, why not? What can the harm be? And the answer to that is a lot. That woman who wants to be featured, she says that her life is going to become inspirational. The woman who does a podcast basically hosts inspirational people on her podcast. And as this person is getting more entwined in the podcaster's life, the podcaster is seeing that she's latching onto her and starting to get a little bit creeped out. This definitely has themes of obsession, and it was such a tense read. And then lastly, we have Run Unread, which was such an enthralling audiobook. I listened to this while I was packing up my home before we moved, and I legitimately packed for this many hours straight. I listened probably on ×2 speed, but I literally did not press pause from start to finish. Normally I would take lots of breaks in between, but I was so hooked and just completely addicted to this audiobook that I didn't want it to stop, so I just kept working the whole time. It follows these two women who are headed to, I think, a party, and they start to realize there's somebody trailing them and getting a little creeped out by it. It's dark out, there's not really many people on the road, so there's no reason they should still be following them. By the time they realize it's actually a problem, these people are definitely trying to run them off the road. They're kind of in the middle of nowhere, they don't really have strong cell service, and they end up in this cat and mouse chase. This book is so tense. Within the first 50 pages, in my head I was how is this book 300 pages? Are these women not gonna die in 2 seconds? It was crazy, but it was done in a way that made total sense to me. I just couldn't believe how tense it was chapter after chapter. It's definitely a book that doesn't really slow down once it starts. And there we have it. Let me know if you've read any of these, and if you have read them, whether you listen to the audiobook as well. And let me know if you want a part 2, or if you want this video in any other genres, because I do listen to about half of the books that I read on audio. I'm a huge audiobook girly, so I have lots of recommendations.